They are officers of the court charged with protecting the life and property of others, and they will soon come before a judge. Who pays for any lawsuits or reparations? Something else on the shocker file. Social media allows terrorists to use their platform every day. Isn't it about time we coerce them into doing something about that? And what will come as no shock to anybody who hates the Patriots or All-American boy Tom Brady. It's all about the balls, and it's all about the truth. And we have the truth every single day. Join us as we question everything. This is MidPoint.
Are you comfortable within yourself that nobody on Sunday on the Patriots side did anything wrong?
I have no knowledge of anything. I have no knowledge of any wrongdoing of any.
Nobody did anything wrong?
Yeah, I'm very comfortable saying that. I'm very comfortable saying that nobody did it, as far as I know.
It is the story Tom Brady and Bill Belichick wish would just go away. But with the NFL issuing one of the more laughable investigative findings since the snowplow incident, text messages surfacing between Patriots staffers slamming away at the self-proclaimed deflator, America can't let go of the story that is Deflategate and the Golden Boy now carrying more than his body weight in rust. Rust never sleeps. Neither does our guest. The man who invented the concept of sports business, the CEO of Horrow Sports Ventures, the sports professor. Rick Horrow joins us. Good to see you well shaven, Professor.
Yeah, well, I decided to shave a little bit for you today. I'm in Denver, too. They wouldn't let me on the plane coming from Florida. So now I am introduced as something equivalent to rust. Thanks.
No, not indeed. Rust never sleeps. Neither do you, because you know everything that goes on the inside. For instance, I'm sure that it won't catch anybody by surprise that you, anybody who's been around sports or football for any length of time knows that, wait a minute, a quarterback basically having someone change the air pressure of the footballs. I think the first time I saw that was 1974, 75. This is not anything new, but this is Tom Brady, Rick.
Well, it's not anything new, but there are certain things that you're kind of allowed to deal with on the edge and certain things across the line. And there was a denial, then there are these texts. And the standard of proof that's used in the Wells report is more probable than not. It's like a civil preponderance of evidence standard. That's the standard that's used in disciplinary hearings and language where the NFL and other sports take advantage of findings to do what they want to. And I'm not guaranteeing discipline here, but it's a very interesting set of facts. And of course, everybody in America is laughing over those texts right now.
Well, we'll get to the text in a moment, but I also want to get to that NFL report itself, because when I talk about it being a little bit laughable, come on, everybody, even a good lawyer will look at this, and you're an excellent lawyer. I do want to say that as well. When you look at it where you're saying that he was probably at least generally aware. Nobody wants to be absolutely sure here. They've got all this preponderance of evidence, but hey, maybe, possibly, just could have happened, might have, God only knows, it could have, one of those things. Fans want to know what's the truth here.
Well, written by a lawyer for a bunch of lawyers, but the texts were there. There were some telephone conversations, apparently, that happened between Tom Brady and folks that he never talked to for like months. Now, that alone doesn't damn anybody, and I'm a lawyer, and I'm trying to be very careful about all of this.
And you are doing an exceptional job, I should point out at the moment.
Well, thank you. But the bottom line is I'm not going to say that Tom Brady absolutely knew, because I can't get in his head either. It is a point, though, that somebody who is consistently ranked in the top 5 in marketability, the Uggs deal, the Gillette deal, all of the Tom Brady apparel deals and endorsement deals, they're not at risk, but this is one of those things that might tarnish him long-term, no doubt.
Let's look at one side of this. Very substantial case, if you will, simply because nobody actually saw him do it. Nobody saw him tell the people who handle the footballs to go ahead and make the change. But then we have the text messages that you alluded to, which apparently come between a couple of those who work in the equipment managing side and basically alluding to the fact that they might have told him, they might not have told him. Seriously, Rick, but from the legal perspective and looking at it, is this enough as far as substantial evidence to say that, yes, he was complicit? Because couldn't this be just a couple of guys hitting off Tom Brady and basically just making fun of him?
Well, yeah, especially, somebody on the other side could say there's got to be some kind of a more factual finding than this before the NFL decides to discipline him. And nobody has said that it's risen to the level of Bill Belichick or assistant coaches or ownership. And so you got to figure out how high all that goes. And the bottom line is this is the setup for the opportunity for punishment if the commissioner wants to seize on that more probable than not language. Now it goes to Troy Vincent, who runs all of the discipline aspects inside the league. We'll see what happens with it.
You know, I'm going to be very upfront here. I worked in Boston for several years. I got to know the Kraft family. I was around the Patriots facility for a long time, got to know the players, have a lot of friends there. But I will say this, and interviewed Brady many times as well, but let's be honest here and look at this from the reality side, Rick. Tom Brady stepped in front of a microphone and said that he was very comfortable saying that he knew absolutely nothing about this, and now all the circumstantial evidence says he knew. That would indicate that Tom Brady lied. Don't we have to say that out loud?
Well, we have to say that there's some explaining to do, as you like to say. And this is not a criminal offense. There's no perjury issues here. It's a private investigation. But credibility is on the line, and I'm sure there's going to be some statement. And that first statement is very important to the overall perception down the road. A lot of people want to believe him, and a lot of people, as you said earlier, don't want to believe him no matter what happens.
Is this really the kind of thing, though, Rick, that could damage an overall legacy, if you will, because his Super Bowl victories are there, and if this is found, that if they do say it, and if he is punished, which we'll get to here in just a moment, will it really make that much of a difference because it was just a couple of pounds of air in footballs?
Well, just a couple of pounds of air, and they went out and beat the team. If you remember, I think it was 45-7 in that game anyway. So I don't think the competition and would it have changed the outcome on the field is the issue. The issue is saying A and doing B.
The issue is honesty. The issue is honesty and being able to be that upright guy.
And at the end of the day, is it honesty like Pete Rose honesty, which he's still an albatross relative to the Hall of Fame? I don't think it's going there, but I do think there may be some kind of a mark. Is it gray? Is it black? Is it erasable? We'll just have to see.
Here comes that punishment idea now, because as I'm reading through a lot of different stories here, and I happen to catch a report from a good friend of ours, Armando Salguero, the Miami Herald, who is also talking about what he knows. Even he's indicating that people are talking about a 1-year suspension for Tom Brady. Now, again, just reports, nothing's in there that says that's going to happen. In your opinion, for what has happened here, would that be appropriate, knowing that the NFL is dealing with a lot of issues now, and the Patriots are seen as a repeat offender on the cheating side?
Yeah, but let's remember, a lot of issues the NFL is dealing with, I understand they're broadly in the category of honesty, but they're domestic abuse issues, and this is not that. And so you have a family man, you have somebody that is a pillar of the community, raised a lot of money for charity. And I don't like, and I know we're all friends, and this is journalism, I've talked to some people who think about this and could do this. I don't know who those some people are. It's hard to imagine Tom Brady being suspended for a year for this, but, you know, we're all now at the point of making statements and making impressions. So the ball is clearly in the NFL's court, so to speak.
If they do indeed go by this report, let's just say Brady might get a suspension and a fine, whatever, maybe a couple of weeks. But do the Patriots themselves not have to be punished, knowing full well we have the videotape incidents, we have other cheating in the back? This comes down as almost something that you would look at the franchise and say, I guess you guys are used to it and you must like it. People are talking about maybe even 2 number 1 draft picks being taken away.
Well, those same people are talking about Brady's year. I'm not sure who those people are. But, you know, there is a distinction here between whatever was found relative to Spygate during the Super Bowl many years ago and Deflategate, where nobody is even expecting or suspecting, certainly the Wells report, anything going higher than Tom Brady. So you could argue that every ownership group takes management responsibility for everybody in the organization. But if you're not going to say that, then there is some separation here.
Do you think that Robert Kraft maybe should take some action, at least try to clean things up early before the NFL comes in and pounces? Because that'll likely happen soon.
Well, remember, Robert Kraft was the one that said he was absolutely vehemently denying that anything happened. So, you know, those texts stand out. He would, I would assume, take a look at them and investigate them and figure out what was happening. Early on, he was the one that said, let the league investigate, not us. And now I guess he has to act in some context. He's been, as far as I'm concerned, the model owner and above reproach. And a lot of people don't like the Patriots, and we're also in an environment where the higher they are, the harder they fall. But there are texts, so there are 2 sides to this.
There are 2 sides, and Tom Brady's going to have to deal with it, and so will the Patriots. By the way, we have to go, but unfortunately, I want to tell everybody Rick Horrow does not have a good right arm anymore, so he will not be playing for the Patriots this season.
Hey, you want to see the right arm? I'll show you the right arm.
Yeah. Okay, I've heard this all before. Thanks a lot, Professor. Talk to you soon. Enjoy the mountain air. Lawsuits abound against cities and cops. Why should you pay the bill? We'll talk about that next when MidPoint continues.